Good morning, brothers. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. So, I wanted to share with you something real quick because I was doing the writing for next week. I always do the writing a week before. And I came across a thought and idea that I wanted to share with you today. So, I hope you enjoy this video. But recently, I was watching the TV show Life After People. And what this TV show is, if you want to check it out, it's on Netflix. But the premise of the TV show is what humanity what the earth would look like if mankind or humanity disappeared off the face of the earth. And it was interesting. They showed different scenarios of what, Vegas or New York or these different locations, what they would look like after 50, 100, 1,000 years of deterioration. And it was kind of epic to see the process of what it looked like and the erosion and everything that took place, and what it would look like after. And so that brought me to a thought of this idea of deterioration and erosion. You see, often we think that destruction happens like this, right? All of a sudden, marriages are destroyed. All of a sudden, businesses collapse. All of a sudden, churches split or bodies fall apart and become weak and all of these things. But what we got to understand is this process of deterioration. And this is the way destruction happens. It's not swift, but it's very slow. And it's much like acid rain, or much like this TV show where it's just erosion. And the reason why the destruction takes place is because the lack of maintenance. And so I want you to look at your life. That is your frame. You know what we're talking about here: family, faith, fitness, and finance. And ask yourself, is there an erosion taking place because of the lack of maintenance? You see, maintenance comes down to personal responsibility, right? If the building is not maintained, then you go and ask the janitor and say, what's going on here? And of course, the same is true for every area of our frame. And that, we can go to our wives and the intimacy that we're having, the communication that we're enjoying. And if it is falling apart, then we can ask ourselves, what is going on here? Am I doing the required maintenance that is going to provide this upkeep? You see, everything in our life is in a process of falling apart. Because we are human, because we're on this earth and we're in this existence, everything we know is in a process of decay and corrosion. And what we got to understand is that we have to be proactive in these areas of our life. Things left to themselves, what? They go to chaos. They go to disarray. And so it's only the maintenance of those things that is going to keep them shining and bright. Now, we can take this into our relationship with God. The same is true. If we want an intimacy, we want power, we want to walk with confidence, we want to be, this sort of thing, then there is a certain upkeep. There's a certain maintenance. Otherwise, it's going to go to deterioration. And this is the truth, brothers. Christ said about this, about the treasure. Don't store up treasure on earth. And he began to state the reasons why. Because moth and rust corrupts. And therefore, he was giving the idea of this corrosion, destruction, that piece by piece. And these all things start with little choice. And it's little choices to shy away from maintenance. We know what is required to have an awesome marriage. We know what is required to, walk in confidence and power. We know what is required in our relationships with our children. We know what's required to build an awesome business and stuff like that. And it's only the lack of required maintenance that enters corrosion. It's just these small little choices. And the Bible says it is the little foxes that spoil the vine. And that is these little decisions to not step up and be proactive in those areas of our life. You see, sometimes men are shocked, right? Like, what happened to my marriage? Oh my God! Like I'm in a divorce. I'm at the lawyer's office. What happened? This just seemed to happen overnight. No, it didn't. The body, like the weight that I am now, right? And me being 26, I got a picture of me. Whew, look good. I was in construction. I was, moving and sweating all the time. And I was, about 175 pounds, just killing it, right? And over the process of 10, 12 years, here I am, 2-3 pounds a year. And it's a very slow process of corrosion. But it still comes down to the personal responsibility of the decisions that we make. And so no man can go, oh my God, what happened to my body? Oh my God, what happened to my marriage? What happened to my bank account, right? Because of this process of erosion. The Bible says that evil men, they wax worse and worse, and that means they go from bad to worse. And that is this utter corruption and corrosion that begins to take upon their heart and their minds and their frame. But we are the men of faith that gradually get brighter and brighter and brighter. You see, the difference between the sons of God and those who are not is this corrosion thing has begun to stop. We begin to take personal responsibility for our lives and for our actions. And therefore, we are gradually becoming better and better, not worse and worse. So I hope you enjoyed this today. Take a look at your frame, your family, faith, fitness, and finance, and ask yourself, is there any deterioration, destruction going on in my life? And now's the time to do the maintenance to stop it. Let's take personal responsibility, brothers. I will see you in group tonight. It is 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is 8 p.m. Eastern. And this is Sunday. And also, I'll see you on Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern. If you're getting this and you haven't joined the group yet, join the group. It's awesome. Peace.